Let's talk.
Giles Brown.
Yes, and it's the time of the week, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and wherever that is fluidly lurking in the corner, we do this.
Life. Don't talk to me about life.
For once again, we are joined by the international man of misery, Michael Senker. Good morrow to you, kind sir.
Good morning. Nice to see you got the memo again about the shirt.
Well, I thought as it's radio, we might as well try and disrupt some of the airwaves.
Okay.
I've got a red one now. Somebody gifted me a red one.
No.
Got a friend came back from Nicaragua, got me a Sandinista shirt, but I was going to wear that, but I thought that'd be too much for you in the mornings. And we're joined by the lovely Marina, who's doing... Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today? You're filming?
Yes, I'm filming Michael.
Right.
Yeah.
Super duper. And we are joined by a special guest. Good morning to you, kind sir. Please introduce yourself to the listening public.
Ronald O'Sullivan.
Ronald O'Sullivan.
Ronald Antonio O'Sullivan.
Ronald O'Sullivan. That sounds like a court appearance.
Plays a bit of snooker.
Really?
Mate of Mickey's, comes to Spain, love it over here, been invited into the show, met Maria today, what an amazing woman she is, and I'm just here to support my friend Mickey.
Exactly, you're going on some time off and you get dragged into a radio station. Yeah. Do you see much sunlight?
Pardon?
Do you see much sunlight in your profession?
Not in my profession, but I try to get outside as much as I can.
Right.
The yin and yang.
The yin and the yin and the yang. Are you the yin to his yang? Grumps?
I don't know what I am, but I've been there a long time. I must be getting on for what, nearly 30 years? 20? You were probably
20. I was 19, and what am I now, 48? 30 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
30 years, yeah.
Oh, you get less for armed robbery, you know.
Well, it was interesting where we met. We met in a car wash.
What?
You remember?
Yeah.
Is it? Can we repeat the story? I mean, were you?
It was very simple.
So you had a car wash, or
no?
you
No, I had a Mercedes and he had a BMW.
Mickey had a car that was getting washed, and I had a car that was getting washed. We didn't own a car wash.
No, and as all blokes do, we got out and Ronnie said to me, "Like your wheels." Like, I mean, literally my wheels. Like,
yeah.
You know, and I said, "Yeah, and I like your wheels." And at the time, he had, I think it was Jimmy's number plate, and it was Q-Boy.
This is Jimmy White, presumably,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
CUE80Y, so it looked like
Q-Boy, brilliant.
Which was on Ronnie's car for about an hour. Personalised number. Realised that it's not a good thing to have, and we just got chatting. I played a bit of snooker. I can't say that.
Yeah.
I can't say I played snooker. I knocked a few balls about.
Yeah.
I knew I was a big snooker fan. I'd met his dad with the mouse. Right. I remember I used to play for money.
Right.
At a snooker hall. So I was really into it. Really into the snooker. And Ronnie said to me, "Do you like snooker?" And I went, "Yeah, I really do." And he said, "Well, why don't you come to, I think it was the Wembley.
Masters.
The Masters, yeah." So we went to the Masters, and he never got rid of me.
You know that thing when people say, "Do you play a bit?" I mean, I was at a charity thing one day, and the guy host was Gavin Hastings, who's the Scottish rugby player, and I was chatting to him. He said, "Do you play?" And like, what do you say? It's like instead of saying, "Do you drive?" and you go, "Yeah, a bit," you know.
Yeah, so that's it. So yeah, and 30 years later, we're still mates.
But didn't you play a bit of poker as well? Right? Am I remembering? Aren't you a bit of a poker player as well back in there?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't a poker player. I played a few games. I had a lesson off of Tony G for about half an hour because I had no idea what was a good hand, what wasn't.
During the internet poker days, was it?
Yeah,
I remember writing something about that.
And I the first one I won, I ended up winning the competition or sharing the prize with the last two. But I didn't know if I'd won a hand until they actually gave me the chips. It was just all like luck.
Do you remember coming up to my office and one of the first ones, and I was playing and you was doing the chat.
Yeah.
And everyone was saying, "Is it really Ronnie? Is it really Ronnie?"
Mickey was really into it. I got bored. I sat there one day and I thought I spent 5 hours here, and I think I could have got a lot. I could have got a lot of good things done in that time.
The only time
I thought only 5 hours.
Yes. The only time I ever cashed out on an online game was I fell asleep halfway through and didn't do it. And so when I came back, I'd actually be in the bubble, so I'd actually won, but I'd been asleep for 4 hours.
Yeah.
True story. Right then, should we have a look at what's crossing the Grumps radar on this merry morning?
Sure.
Right. Okay. Are you caught up? Let's kick off with. Are you caught up with Olympic fever?
I am pretty much disgusted with the whole of the Olympic situation at the moment. I thought the opening ceremony was a farce.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought what and the drag queens or whatever that all was.
The drag racing.
No, I don't know what it was.
It's the drag racing.
Oh, well, it just didn't make any sense to me.
Right.
No sense whatsoever. The guy can't swim in the Seine because it makes you sick. It's so filthy.
Yeah.
And then you got the situation with the boxing. But, I mean,
yes. Right, so
we want to start with the boxing.
Let's give you the number. 952784000 is the phone number. We've got somebody calling in from who's texted me from Minneapolis, i.e., their states, and saying if you're going to report on the Olympics, please report on the Olympics. The Olympics, given they chose to mock the Last Supper, and I'm reading this directly of our Lord, even someone is not a believer or a Christian. Can we refrain from taking part in news reporting of an event that has chosen to mock a model of peace and love in our world? I say our Lord has suffered enough. I can't stand the Olympics, so I'm suffering enough anyway. I mean,
no, I just think that it's not in. Where does it come from? Why is it this inclusiveness? Since when have you had to have a bunch of people dressed up as women that are men, or I don't know what it was all about, to be honest with you. I'm losing the will to live with all this wokeness. No, but all this inclusiveness and all this nonsense is just getting off the scale now. I mean, and then you've got this situation with this girl, girl who's been put in a ring with a person that is obviously got the XY chromosomes or whatever it is, and is well, it's all intents and purposes, he's a bloke. And he's got in the ring and he's knocked the granny out of her.
Well, this is the one of the things of this is the fact that this particular Algerian boxer has got more something chromosome than female chromosome going through them, and they've been banned by the boxing community, and yet
Marina will tell you.
Well, Marina will tell me. I didn't. I'm our boxing correspondent, but apparently the IOC, in their wisdom, have let this person go, and you just look and you feel for the Italian because she was 46 seconds, and she says she's never been
hit so hard in her life.
Yeah,
right, and just didn't know what it was. Well, it's just
literally.
It's just she's been hit in the face by a bloke.
Well, somebody with more, a
bloke.
It's called Here we go. Apparently it's called DST. I studied this last night on their internet, and apparently it is a chromosome imbalance. Marina, come on, you put the voice of sense. You were going to say something there?
I know, I think you've said everything, but I also studied something on internet about that.
Studied something on internet. Yes. That always fills me full of confidence.
Yes.
Come on, Marina.
Yes, also included Russian media, and which is always very interesting. What I found out that basically it's a man. Physically, this person is a man, and so the force of the punch is much higher than it would be female punch by 162%. Yeah. So, and I think it's not
162%.
Yes.
Ouch.
Yeah. So it's just a statistic. 20% standards.
I mean, if the World Boxing Committee said that this person cannot box against women, then what on earth are despite what you said about
Seb Coe said it's okay because he knows all about boxing because he was a runner.
Exactly.
Lord Coe said it was okay.
It's not okay. I mean, and also the thing is there's some serious sort of damage that could be, and there's another competitor out there who's got the same makeup. And I mean that in genetic makeup, not in a bag, not in a
Max Factor,
not in a Max Factor kind of way. And you only wonder, I mean, it's not good for sport, and especially when everybody's looking at diversity and quote unquote wokeness and whatever. This is just fuel to the fire for most people. It's not living up to the Olympic ideals, is it?
No, but it's the other thing as well. And there's a swimmer, right now. The swimmer looks a little bit more obvious.
Right,
we're not going to.
Really?
Well on the point, yeah. It's definitely a bloke.
Okay.
Because she's wearing a swimming costume.
Okay.
Right, and it's not a woman.
It's not a woman, isn't it? Okay.
And they're winning by like 25 seconds or something, or 20 seconds.
What's Lord Coe said about that one?
just use it as a rudder.
952784000. I was saying, Ronnie, do you want to get involved with this one? But I mean, oh my God.
helps in the term.
If you want to get involved with the show, these are the numbers.
To contact TRE, please call 952 78 4000. Email studio@tre.radio. Send us a WhatsApp on +34 645 99 67 95. Message us on Facebook, Talk Radio Europe Official, or tweet us at TRE Talk Radio.
This coming in, does no one see a problem with a man hitting a woman, and does no one see a problem with an international awards sport contest giving a trophy to a man who hits a woman for hitting a woman? How is this not celebrating and awarding domestic violence? Well, okay, I kind of get the point, but they shouldn't.
You don't have to start. This is the problem with things. Stick to what it is.
Yeah.
Don't bring in what's this to do with women's rights and this, that, and the other. The fact of the matter is, men do men's sports in the men's category, and women do women. And if there wants to be a trans category, that's fine. Just as there's a Paralympics.
Yeah, go on.
I'm just saying it.
If it was ice skating and I was on very thin ice, Mike, you'd be absolutely brilliant, this Grumps.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Right.
I've reached the age, and maybe we'll go into it. I was 75 on Monday.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And may I say you don't look it because of clean living and regular prayer?
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. And to be honest with you, I don't care. I didn't care a lot when I was 25.
Yeah.
Right. I'm even worse now. I'm this political correctness and this wokeness and this triggering. I mean, they've got a whole thing now about Strictly Come Dancing, which is a show I really enjoy.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I do enjoy it. I do. I think it's great. It's a fun program. But now it's not fun. Because everybody's making complaints about this. Oh, he worked me too hard. He was rude to me. When you sign up for something which you can't do and you've got to be good at it, you've got to practice very hard. And it's a lot of bandwagon jumping on. And in that case, then cancel that show because of it. Cancel MasterChef because someone shouted. Because
somebody burnt their
Gordon Ramsay shouted.
Burnt me hands. I'm traumatised.
Just cancel everything. Just cancel everything. Let's go back to 3 television channels: ITV, BBC One, and BBC Two, and then no one's going to get offended.
You missed the national anthem at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, just go back to how it was in the 70s and cancel all these shows where people they're going to do.
Here we go.
What's that? Love Island, a naked Love Island. A naked Love Island. They're going to do Love Island, but it's going to be.
You might as well just get all of those pay for one of those special channels and be done with it, basically.
Yeah, but stop. Just stop being ridiculous.
Well, there was one. They're going to do one which is blindfold. And then you take the blindfold off the end and you find out and they were giving some psychobabble about it's to know the inner person, because you'll get to know the person before you actually see the person, so you'll love them for the person that they are, not for the person you'll see.
So how does that explain naked attraction then? I don't watch there and you're judged totally by your bits.
I'm a man, with all of this always worked for me thus far. I'm a man, remember, who lives in the 18th century, used to live in a house with electricity and candles, etc., and pump water from a lake. So I've missed all that. I've missed Love Island, Celebrity Bake Off and Ice Come Dancing, the whole thing. And with that Come Dancing thing, because several thousand years ago, we had one of those on the coast, all the media outlets had a thing, and we were trained for 10 weeks. And there's a point where you go, I can't do this. But the trainer goes, come on, you can do it. And you push yourself, but it seems to be now that if somebody shouts at one of these people, then they go, I get a flashback when I was there's a backstory and I'm getting PSD and I want 50 grand off the BBC.
You'd never do any of those, would you?
What's that, reality shows? Yeah, no, but I just feel sorry for the contestants because they're quite vulnerable people, and I think the TV people and all these they exploit them. They're desperate sometimes for fame, for money, for a way out, so they take it. And they're kind of caught in a trap then, and then they kind of got this lifestyle and they think, I can't go from this to work in a normal job because of there was one guy from Essex, he was on some Love Island show and then it didn't quite work out for him and he went to work in Waitrose or something, just stacking shelves, and he ended up committing suicide, a young boy.
Remember that.
And you think that's just vulnerable people being exploited, which I find abhorrent. So yeah, that's my view on it. And yeah,
the thing is, you take these people. It's like when they do the X Factors and all these, and they think they're going to be superstars and they're going to be, you know, they're going to do massive tours, and they haven't done the hard yards of doing the clubs and performing, and they get there and they're front page news, and then they get a record deal, never works out, and then they're dropped, and they're completely unprepared for that.
It's a bit of like an instant success thing there, isn't it? No one's prepared to do the hard yards, the time on the road, the love of it, the sort of meeting the people along the way and growing. You know, like obviously had the Rolling Stones or the Beatles done it, you know, and it was just kind of the journey was fun. You was growing as a person at a natural pace. Yeah. Whereas now you come from like, hold on, I'm just a normal kid, and then like 8 weeks later you're like this superstar that's got loads of social media attention, and I'm not sure they're quite fully trained to be able to deal with it in that quicker time.
Yeah,
you know, it's a bit like the royal family. You just don't make someone a king. They grow into it, and it kind of becomes a natural process. So I think that's where this quick instant success is dangerous. And
especially where now, I mean, 20 years ago when they first started doing X Factor, it was just on TV, but now it's on social media, and you're getting, and these people, I mean, they thought they're going to make millions, and very few of them do, but they're not prepared for the trolling and the whole, you know, the avalanche, the tsunami of abuse you get online.
Yeah, I mean, I just think there's no free lunch either, you know. And I think if you're going to take these people onto these shows and put them into this world, you have to offer a sort of a plan to kind of go, okay, you're going to come on this, but we'll provide you with a therapist, we'll provide you with some support, because it might be difficult for you, and you might need this structure or this setup for you to be able to come out the other end and just get back on with your normal life. Yeah, I just don't think they offer that service. I don't actually think they care enough, which is the thing. If people actually cared about people, would probably be all right, but I just don't think the people that are making all the money are that bothered.
You've not got a manager, have you? You're not an Epstein, you know, nurturing you. It's like you're in, boom, you're out. We've made the cash out of you. You know that social media thing, and I want to ask you this, Ronnie. If you don't. Yeah. Do you find that people think that they know you, and therefore you'll be sitting in a restaurant and you'll be trying to enjoy yourself, and then somebody will come up and start doing that, you know? Yeah,
listen, obviously I'm in the public eye, and you have to accept that that's going to happen, but I've never sold my soul to the press, the media, or social media. I've never made a gain out of it. I've never made a career out of it. So I have quite a healthy boundary, whereas if I'm out in public, I'm quite comfortable with saying to someone, I don't do pictures. I'm not here. I'm with my family and friends. If you want to wait an hour or 2 hours until I'm done, cool. But if not, no problem. Nice to meet you. End the conversation. You know. But then if someone like Mickey came up to me in a restaurant and we tangoed, you know, naturally, and I thought this guy's a really nice guy. He hasn't asked me for anything I feel uncomfortable with. I would, you know, pursue that because that's an organic, natural. And you think, actually, I quite like this guy. He's got something about him. So, you know, you have to kind of read the situation as well.
What's your nickname for me?
Relentless.
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 We'll grind them down eventually.
Go on, tell him how I won that name.
There's many ways. Yeah. Going to a hotel and like we would go to tournaments and he'd go. I'd go to reception and he said, "Can we just go to the third room first?" And the woman would be like, looking at him like, "What's he mean?" He went, "Well, the first one's not going to be great." He said, "The second one's not going to be much better. So let's just go straight to the third." The best one was when we turn up and they go, "We ain't got no hotel rooms." And he went, "Well, if Prince Giles coming tonight, would you have a room for him?" And she went, "Oh yeah, of course." He went, "Well, he ain't coming, I'll have his."
Genius.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh, marvellous. It's high season, as you may have noticed, out there. I mean, you need to pack as if you're going to the Himalayas to go to the studio from where you live.
And there was a massive traffic jam.
Oh yeah, I mean the driving's a lot off the scale at the moment. And that makes wacky races look like, you know, the Advanced Institute of Driving. But parking in restaurants, because you know you are a man, you're a bon viveur. You are a man who eats out of restaurants and they put you next to the toilets, which is always good fun. So
no. I was just saying that this time of the year, so you drive round and round and you're looking for somewhere to park, and you finally found somewhere to park. And, you know, you park off. Result, I've got a great parking space. And then as you get up to outside the restaurant, there's a parking space outside the restaurant. Always when you've parked a mile away. And there's always one, which always reminds me of American films.
Right.
In American films, it doesn't matter where anybody stops in New York. Right, and I don't know if you've ever been to New York or San Francisco or Los Angeles. Wherever it is, there's always a parking space just outside the exact building that they want to go. They never lock the doors of the car.
No.
Right. They never wind the windows up. They just get out and do whatever they've got to do. And I want to live in that world.
Well, I mean, American parallel parking, that'll get you going for a start. I mean, because, they have to do that drive-in parking, don't they? That's why there's always so many huge parking spaces outside there in the States.
Yeah, but that's it. It's not real. It's not real. And another thing that I've got the ump with is a television series I watched, 16 episodes. I'm not going to tell the name of it, because in case anybody watches it.
Okay.
Right. But it was a fabulous, lovely, lovely, happy story.
Okay.
Right, until episode 16. And they killed her.
All right.
Right. We were watching it. We were.
You've been watching Game of Thrones again?
No, I love Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
We were loving this thing, and then all of a sudden, she's. Oh, I don't matter. It's spoiled it for me. I might as well spoil it.
Well, no, don't spoil it for them, because there was somebody said you've really. I was waiting for this weekend to watch it.
Well, okay, but anyway, it's a story that goes over years, and it's fabulous. It's really a really feel good movie. Yeah. And we're sitting there and we're laughing and enjoying it and everything. And then like episode 16, they killed the star. They killed the actress. Like, and I was sitting there like we just lost a relative. we were that into the show.
Yeah.
It was just like, what happened? Why did they do it? They could have had a lovely, feel-good, happy ending.
It's not even Disney. It's not a Disney movie, for goodness sake. I mean, look at Dallas and Bobby Ewing in the shower. Remember that one?
Yeah.
And it was all a dream.
Yeah.
And the Howls of Outrage. and the Howls of Outrage at the end of Game of Thrones, because they wanted them all to trip off into the sunset doing the musical number.
But they did another one, the Dragon Lady, didn't they, or something? No,
they're doing the House of the that's something different you're watching, and it's called House, and it's a prequel. You see, it's the before you got there. Yes,
I did like Game of Thrones.
Did you?
Yeah.
Who was your favourite character?
I heard the Dragon Queen.
Yeah. Daenerys. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
I liked her husband as well, but he got.
Yeah. Anyway,
what I did like about Game of Thrones, they weren't worried about knocking off a top character in every.
Well, that was the thing, wasn't it? Yeah.
Sean Bean lasted about
15 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, great! Sean Bean's in it. Boom. No, he's not. He's dead.
I had it all on a Fire Stick, on somebody downloaded it before, and I was flying back to the UK, and I watched it, and nobody told me, and I was watching the Red Wedding episode, and apparently halfway between here and Luton, I went no like that, and everybody sort of looked round. So
everybody got wiped out.
Yeah. What else is crossing the Grumps radar? We've got 5 minutes. Come on, off you go.
What else is jumping? I don't know really. Sex education should be banned in schools, someone said.
Right, okay.
So I think they're going to knock down all the schools and rebuild them with bike sheds, where we all learn everything for life.
And you've got one here of the time-swing chariot creeping. Your thoughts on aging disgracefully as you turned 74 last week?
75.
75. You've gone up since last week here.
Yeah, no, I just first of all, I'm amazed that I ever got here. I didn't think I was going to make 50. So 75 was quite good, but now I've realised that everything's become like a role reversal.
Yeah.
Like, whereas my daughter, when she was little, was Dad, what's this? Dad, how does that work? Dad, can you show me this? Can you, Dad? Now it's Sarah. How do you do this? Like, how do I go and how do I find this on the internet?
Yeah.
How do I do it? So there's a slow role reversal, especially now, because I used to push her around in her pram.
And now?
And now, when we go shopping, she pushes me around in my wheelchair. Right?
And she got you on the TikTok video?
Yeah. No, she didn't get me on TikTok. Marina got me on TikTok.
What was the one of you? Oh, it was Instagram YouTube dance.
No, that was the one, the Instagram one where we were dancing. Have you seen that one? Where Sarah and I are dancing.
Yeah. In identical jackets.
Yeah.
Cannot be unseen.
Yeah. But what you don't see is that I fell over 4 times whilst trying to record.
That's abuse. That's abuse. That's like Strictly.
So what I'm saying that's a big role reversal. So she's pushing me around in my pram now.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm going, can I go into this shop here? No, we've got to be there. Can I go into? No, we haven't got time to go to this shop, and I'm being whizzed round the shopping hall in my pram, and I think myself, bit of a, I remember when I used to do this, well, can I have an ice cream? No, you haven't been good. Like,
Tell you what I want to mention that Ronnie's here, because since we last spoke, one of the names that got me watching snooker, Pop Black and all that, Ray Reardon. You knew Ray, didn't you? And obviously you knew Ray because he was in. I mean, what a gentleman. I mean, the
best, amazing man, brilliant time. I love Ray, and I watched his documentary that he's got on BBC iPlayer, and just learned even more about how he got into snooker and the sort of man he was,
Yeah.
And when I see that and I see how he was with me, I was like, wow. Yeah, just amazing guy.
That thing about doing the hard yards in the clubs you talked about. I mean, that generation.
Yeah.
Of players.
I was fortunate enough to be with Ronnie and Ray in Sheffield when you won, when he was with you.
Yeah.
He was an incredible man, and he was a very gentle. His manner was so gentle, and just no. Yeah, didn't he? He said, he was amazing.
It was done with a smile, but there was a lethal weapon behind it.
Yeah, that's the thing, because they always say that nice guys don't.
He would laugh and joke, but underneath it there was a coal miner that nearly died, and he got out from that and thought, I ain't doing this job, and become a policeman. He thought, I want to be a champion snooker player, and he was just determined. And that's what I remember playing Stephen Hendry once, and I was like 12-5 up, played a shot to go 13-5 up. I lost the frame, and he went, what was you doing? And I went, I don't know. He went, no. He said, when you got them on the ground, he said, you got to stamp on the red and put the concrete and keep stamping on them. And I was like, wow, he was a tough competitor, but he was just a winner, great guy.
And he loved you.
Yeah, we had like a father and son relationship. I think he helped me a lot. He helped me a lot. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, really. It's that generation, isn't it? That we all grew up watching as kids, and gets into it.
But he's. I mean, I learnt a lot as well from talking to other people like John Virgo and Ronnie. He had this thing of when he was laughing, but that was a cover for. He was like. He was just thinking of next.
Do you know when you used to shake his shoulders? Yeah. Everyone used to think that, but really, he said one day I was playing and I was getting nervous. He said my arm was twitching. He said so I just used to shake my shoulders just to sort of get rid of the twitch. And you just think, you see a lot of sports psychologists these days, and they say, do this and do that. But he had this wonderful gift to be able to find his own way of relaxing, his own way of finding that peaceful place in his mind under pressure, and that's a gift, and I think we can all do that. It's just playing games with yourself sometimes. How do I get my mind in a good place here? How do I stop this twitching my arm? And some people wouldn't even think to do that, but he was just so sort of, he would try stuff, and that works, great, that's in the bank.
Now you'd probably need a sports psychologist and whatever, picking up, X amount of cash for saying shake your shoulders.
Yeah, and it's just, and a lot of it is just,
All good. All good. Right.
Well, we're going to run out of time, believe it or not. I've got 30 seconds left. So, once again, if people want to follow you, you still writing for the Euro Weekly?
I still write for Euro Weekly News every week. Well, every week that I remember. Yeah. I'm on TikTok. I'm on...
And the YouTube... How's the YouTube channel with the going for him?
Developing.
It's developing.
Slowly
All right. Ronnie, what are you up to next, apart from leaving the studio at extreme speed?
No, not a lot really. I've got to go China next week for a couple of weeks, then off to Saudi Arabia, then back here in September. Just...
Right then, well, we're good. Thanks very much for joining us. We're going to the National News. Stephen, this is up next. Thanks for joining us.